Rooted in Love Urban Homestead family. Here we are today, and it is Saturday, and we're making some homemade tomato soup with our Amish paste tomatoes that Ron has worked so hard in growing, and he's done a great job. So we're going to make it from scratch. We'll show you how to do that. We'll show you how to process the tomatoes. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up with all that's going on in our homestead. Bon appetit! So in order to use fresh tomatoes instead of canned tomatoes when you make tomato soup, you need to process the tomatoes. So we're going to cut an X in the bottom of the tomato like this, and then we're going to put it in boiling water just for a short time. And then that's going to bring the peel up. And when the peel starts to come apart from the flesh, we'll take it out with our spoon and put it in the cold ice water to stop the cooking. See, the peel's starting to break away, so we want to put it immediately in the ice bath to cool it down. Here we have our tomatoes in the ice bath, and so you want to take the tomato and see how easily the skin comes off. It just comes right off. Pinch that. And then you can discard that. We'll just put it in a bowl right there and put these here to process a little more in a minute. And this tomato, as you see, has a little spot on it. That's okay. The skin wouldn't come off. We'll just cut that off when we process and take the middle part out and the seeds out. So as you see, we have our 5 pounds of tomatoes, and they're naked. There's skins off of them. So we're getting ready to process them just a little more. So we can put them in the food processor. So in order to do that, we're going to cut it in half, and be careful cutting it because they're slippery little guys when they're naked like this. And you can take the pit out, and I don't really see any seeds or hard places in this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and quarter it and put it in the food processor. And get that out. Maybe get a little more of that out.
So you want to get the green core out,
yes, right? You want to get the green core out. And you don't have to chop them real fine because we're going to put them in the food processor. See, here's this one has more seeds. So I'm going to come in and get that out and then just take the seeds out. It wouldn't hurt anything to have the seeds in there. But the main thing is you don't want any of this hard core.
You don't want too much juice either, right?
Right, and that's one reason we're using Amish paste tomatoes, because they are more fleshy and they don't have the juice as, say, our Cherokee purple tomatoes would have, and or our Arkansas Traveler tomatoes. So, and I'm not going to worry about these seeds because they don't bother me, and we're going to pulverize it up. And that way you just know it's rustic homemade soup and not soup out of a can.
I can taste it now.
So Ron and I are making this soup together today, and so we've kind of traded out, and he is chopping up some. We're getting our container full here.
Oh.
And our scraps. Don't be losing any of our yummy tomatoes on the floor now.
I'm not.
That was a good catch.
You smell very good.
Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. You'd love it.
And these have a very good homegrown tomato taste, even though they're the paste tomatoes. They still taste really good.
Yeah, just fresh. Some of them we've gone ahead and chopped up and just eaten fresh with a little salt and pepper. But we saved these as we harvested them, we saved them in a paper sack.
You keep them in a cool place.
In a dark place too, right?
Cool place, that way they don't ripen so fast.
Okay, so as you see, we have all of our tomatoes in the food processor, and we're going to get ready to process it. Now you can do it where it's chunky if you like chunky tomato soup. We're going to get it to where it's pretty creamy and not real chunky because we want it to be more of a cream type soup. So I would go ahead and just kind of hit the pulse button. That way you can kind of keep control over how much it's processing. So we're finished processing. If you want to get a look at it, you can see we have ours very, very processed. Okay, our tomatoes are processed and now we're ready to start making our yummy soup. I like to go ahead and put in my garlic first. It says 1 tablespoon of garlic. And again, you can do this to taste, but 1 tablespoon of garlic. And I have the pot on. So it's going to go ahead and let some of that garlic aroma release. You can hear it sizzling there. All right, so the garlic has released some of its aroma. Now we're going to add in all of our tomatoes. Careful with the blade, yourself. And then we're also going to add in our chicken broth. And I made this chicken broth earlier today from a whole chicken, but if you don't have chicken broth in the freezer, it's fine. Just use canned chicken broth. And so this is 2 cups of chicken broth. And we stir that together and we bring it to a boil, watching it and stirring it for 10 minutes.
So I don't know if this is necessary or not, but a lot of the videos I've seen of people cooking tomatoes, they skim off this foam. I don't know if that matters with soup, but I'm going to go ahead and get some of that off just because.
So as you see, our soup is boiling and it has been boiling for 10 minutes. And now we're going to add the butter. And I've gone ahead, it's a 1/3 cup of butter. I've gone ahead and kind of chunked it up just so it will melt well. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to start with a scant tablespoon of salt, and then you can add to taste, but I don't want to oversalt it. And we stir this until the butter is dissolved and incorporated into the tomato mixture. So as you see, the butter has melted and it's incorporating pretty well. And the sugar is dissolved and the salt is dissolved. And so now we want to slowly pour in the cream so it incorporates. And this is heavy whipping cream, and it's been sitting out at room temperature so it's not cold going in the soup. Don't want to waste any. I'm going to turn it up a little bit so it boils to help incorporate everything. I'm not going to turn it up where it boils real high because I don't want it to, the cream to curdle. So I decided to switch over to a whisk to help incorporate everything and make sure it's all mixed up well. Okay, and to finish it off, you finish it off with a little basil. I have dried basil. If you have fresh basil in your garden, that's even better. Mine's not ready yet, so I'm just going to put some dried basil in there. So as always, when you're cooking, you want to taste, and I've kind of tasted along. I didn't show you that necessarily on film, but when your soup is finished, you want to do a final taste. It's yummy. It's very yummy. I'm going to add a little bit more basil, and I think it's great on everything else. And you can do it to your taste.
It looks good. Let's have a little taste.
What do you think?
It tastes like fresh tomatoes.
It's a good thing we're just eating with family, because you just stuck that spoon right back down in there.
It's just us.
So here we are, finished cooking our soup, getting ready to enjoy it with a grilled cheese sandwich. What could be better than tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich?
That's right.
We hope you've enjoyed this video, and may all you do be rooted in love. Until next time.
Do you want to taste the soup? Ooh.
Taste it.
Mmm, delicious.
There you go.